Mirror, mirror on the wall. Hello, welcome to Fatmata Speaks. Today we're going to talk about mirrors. So, a mirror does more than just show you your reflection, it shows us who we are, and it can be your friend or your enemy based on how you see yourself. Given the nature of a mirror, I will say we should approach the mirror not to look for our beauty. We have to look in the mirror, because if we do not look in the mirror, then we're always going to be dependent on the opinion of others based on what they see. And we know that people see things based on their experience and based on how they perceive life. So if you're always dependent on others' opinion to tell you about your appearance or reflection, you're always going to be at the mercy of others. That's one. So therefore, it's very important for you to look at the mirror, because you need to know what you're working with. Because if you constantly being subject to the judgment of others, you will never see yourself completely. The opinions of others is important, but your opinion is more important. So if you don't give yourself the chance to see yourself in the mirror, then you can never have a subjective view about yourself. If you never look in the mirror, you'll never know if there are things about you that you actually like the way they are. Once you're used to looking at yourself, at your reflection, you can use the mirror as well to talk to yourself. For example, if I'm having a low, I will talk to myself in the mirror. I will tell myself oh, this is this, this is this, this is this. It helps ground me in a way, because the things that I say to myself during those phases, I try my best to base it on facts, not on emotions, just on facts, and that just put things into perspective. But also on good days, I talk to the mirror. Actually, I talk to the mirror way too much, and it's not because I love my reflection, but it's just I found that talking to myself in the mirror, it makes things easier to grasp because of the seeing is believing notion. And it's like I feel like I'm having a conversation with another me, and not just in my head, because we all have conversations in our head, but it's like you're having a conversation with someone that is sitting opposite you, and that kind of have a certain effect, at least on me. I don't know about you guys. If you guys also experience such effects, just write it down in the comments. But yeah, I talk to myself sometimes in the mirror. I talk to myself most of the time in the mirror, not sometimes. And I tell myself facts. Sometimes I even state my emotion oh, not feeling good today. And this is something I used to do in the past a lot, which was to look in the mirror every single day before leaving the house. It's not to tell myself positive things. No, it's just to tell myself the facts. And that is, sometimes I look in the mirror and be oh, your eyes are puffy today. You look tired. And then I will go out. And then if someone says that to me, oh, this or that, I'm yeah, I know. I looked in the mirror. I know how I look at the moment. And I don't know, that kind of it helps reduce any sort of anxiety or unsteadiness in me, because I know what it is, what I'm looking at, and I'm fine with it. Otherwise, I will not leave the house like that. So, yeah, looking at yourself in the mirror it does more than just tell you you're beautiful or not. Also, mirror kind of reduce the dependency that we have of others constantly being around us. This is not to say you should develop kind of narcissistic relationship with your reflection. That's not the point I'm getting at. What I'm trying to say is we spend most of the time alone, and some people, introverted people, we stay at home for most of the time and we don't see people. So sometimes it gets a little bit, oh, I should try to get some social contact. You know what I mean? And by looking into the mirror, it's just you, but it kind of gives you the impression that someone else is there. And I don't know, it does have an effect. And it helps you love your company more. Your own company. Because you get to spend time with yourself. So that's why it's very important to develop a good, healthy relationship with yourself. Because if you spend a lot of time with by yourself, and then you see the mirror and then you have negative talks with yourself, that's not healthy. But if you have like positive talks, and sometimes just talk, it doesn't have to have any nature of positive or negative. It's just talk to yourself. It helps, because sometimes you need to hear yourself say it out loud, and having a reflection there, I don't know, it makes it more intimate. Yeah, it does. So yeah, talk to yourself in the mirror. Have a full-blown conversation. Don't listen to what anyone else is saying. Just have a conversation with yourself. Flirt with yourself if you like. It's all about you. It's your relationship. Another thing about mirror, right? I don't know if this might just be me, but sometimes when I look in the mirror, I'm like, ooh. Not in the sense of like, ooh, I find myself like super extraordinarily beautiful. But I don't know, it's like when I look in the mirror sometimes, I do not see, well, I do see the physical me, but there's something else there. I see the state of my emotion. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if maybe I'm just like seeing something that's not there. But there are times when I will walk by a mirror and then I will catch a glimpse of my reflection and I will stop, because I'm like, ooh, you look quite happy today. And it's just like having a mirror there helps you pick that up. So you don't have to wait on others to tell you. And sometimes we overthink our emotions, and it's hard to trust our emotions even though we're the one feeling them, right? So yeah, so sometimes I think the scene aspect of it emphasizes everything, and that just makes it impossible to miss. So yeah, so sometimes when I look in the mirror, I catch a glimpse of my emotional state. And I can tell sometimes when I'm gloomy, even though maybe in my head I already know that I'm gloomy, but like I see how it translates on the outside. I don't know if I'm alone with this one. But also, because of the fact that I can see it, I trust my judgment much easier. Because sometimes I feel it and I'm like, okay, maybe this is a little bit too much because I've been ruminating about it in my head. But when I catch my own reflection, I can see how it translates on the outside, and I find the evidence of it. So it's like, I believe mirror is a method to use, or a tool to use to enhance the trust that we have within ourselves, to build that trust. Because once we have a certain level of trust in ourselves, we judge ourselves less, hopefully, and that will make it easier to look in the mirror. Because when we look in the mirror, we're not judging like, oh my god, look at your eyes, look at your nose, look at this, look at that. Because I think most of the time when we look in the mirror, we just get obsessed with the physical aspect, the beauty aspect of things, instead of everything else that is there. This is more of an interpretation, right? When we look in the mirror, I believe it shows us what is important. Because when you look in the mirror, it's just you and your reflection. And that shows us that in this life, you are everything. You are your own competitor, you're your own enemy, you're your own friend, you're your own constant, you're your own change. It's there. And it makes it evident that, yes, the outside is very important, but you are important because you are there. And it kind of sets the responsibility on you, because you're your constant, you're your change, you're your competitor, you're your enemy, you're your cheerleader, your cheering squad. It's always you. So it makes it obvious that you are the determiner, the main factor in your life. And I think that says a lot. No, that says everything, actually. That says everything. That you are the main factor in your life. You are the constant. You are the change. You're your competitor. You are the one who is interpreting. You're the judge. You're the audience. You're the crowd. It's all you. So develop a healthy relationship with yourself. But to do that, you have to see yourself, not just on a mental plane, but also on the physical level. And you should be able to look at yourself. Because if you're not able to look at yourself, you can never properly develop an intimate relationship with yourself. Because if you cannot stand yourself, then that translates into certain behaviors. Yeah, it does translate into certain behaviors. It's very important that you you're aware of yourself. Because I don't know, if you never look in the mirror, you're never actually fully conscious of yourself. Of course, you get the inner aspect of it, but the outer aspect of it, you never actually fully get it, and then the awareness of yourself kind of like lacks a little bit. The outside is as well as important as the inside, the whole of you, because that's the whole of you, you know. Make it a habit to look in the mirror. I just stare at the mirror, even I couldn't see my reflection. But make it a habit to look in the mirror. You have to see yourself. Okay, I'm gonna do the closing sentence because I'm freezing. So the closing sentence is, well, it's more than a sentence. If the world never told you you're beautiful, how would you see yourself? I think we should do this exercise. If the world never told you what you look like, or how the impression of what you look like, how will you classify yourself? And I continue. If the answer is still not beautiful, then do this. Sit down and ask yourself what the true issue is. Because I believe there is an underlying issue about yourself that you're not addressing, and it's slipping out in the form of self-humiliation or self-hate. Stop judging yourself by using the verdict of the external. Make your own verdict, but do this only when you have truly see yourself. I hope that was helpful, and I hope more people will get to love their reflection, build relationship with themselves. Look at the mirror. Look at the mirror, people.